Hello, people of the internet, and welcome back. So, the first trailer of the Odyssey has finally been released, and I'll be reacting to it. I'm super hyped for this movie. I saw some stills that were leaked on Twitter. So, yeah, let's just get right into it. And I won't be pausing the video in between because I'm watching on the TV right now. So, yeah, let's just react to it, and I'll say and I'll share my thoughts afterwards. So again, it's by Universal Studios. There's a battlefield. Okay.
After years of war, no one could stand between my men.
Looks intense.
And home.
So Tom Holland is the main character in this one.
Not even me.
I think so. Or Matt Damon is. Or they're like parallel leads. That's some beautiful visuals there. The visuals are amazing. I just love the visuals. The contrast is beautiful. Again, amazing. The set looks amazing here.
Promise me you will come back. What if I can't?
Okay, so he's basically Odysseus. The Odyssey. Amazing. Shot entirely with IMAX camera. So this is interesting because I believe some films are made for IMAX, but this one is made with the IMAX cameras, and that is interesting in this one. So of course I'll be seeing this in the IMAX again, right in there, sitting in front of the big screen. And that is what I absolutely love about IMAX, that you see these visuals right in your face, and it looks just gigantic. It looks like an adventure. So again, super excited for the Odyssey, and it looks remarkable. It's a piece set in history, and we'll be seeing how that goes. Now, I saw certain kind of arguments being made on Twitter, like the armor of the soldiers, it felt quite unnatural. However, seeing this in a trailer format, it doesn't feel quite unnatural. I mean, yeah, if you take a still out of a trailer or take a still out of context and just place it somewhere on the internet, it might feel unnatural, but it goes quite well with the vibe of this entire trailer here. So I absolutely love this. The visual contrast that was shown in certain stills here, it was just amazing. Certain pieces here, it was just brilliant. I loved it. Now, I believe this is the first time Christopher Nolan is making a movie set in history, if I'm not wrong. I haven't watched all of his films, but I've watched most of his films, so it appears that this is the first one. And with that being said, I think this might not just be what it seems on the surface, because as we all know, it's Christopher Nolan. However, it can just be the entire Odyssey story, but I do believe there will be some aspects to it that might feel quite unnatural and might not, go well with the original story. I believe there is something to this rather than just a retelling or a re-showcasing of what was written in the texts. Now, I do have the book, I have to read it, and I'll make sure that I read it before I go on and watch this movie. I have the Iliad as well, I have the Odyssey as well, both in the poem format and the prose format. So I'll be reading both of those books. I mean, yeah, I have 2-3 books here, so I'll read that. And I'm interested in the story. I kind of know the story in a concise way. I read it somewhere. I read a paraphrasing of it. So I know a little bit of the story. It's about Odysseus's adventure as he goes back to his wife, who's waiting for him after the Trojan War. that happened. So he's out there with his boys, with the soldiers in Troy, and they are kind of going back after the war. And these are the kind of the trials and tribulations that Odysseus has to face in between reaching back to his wife. And it almost takes like a decade or so to reach back home. And it's a story about what happens while going back. And his wife is like maybe married to someone else, or she lives with someone else, so he wins her back. And it's kind of like that story. So again, it will be an adventurous film, that is for sure, because this guy will be going from one place to another, and it's like an entire, you're covering the African continent. I mean, of course, the North African part of the continent. Then you are covering your European continent. So it's like it's set in the Mediterranean Sea, if I'm not wrong. If that's the sea between Africa and Europe, I guess that's the sea. So it is the story of this entire place, and it's between there. So again, I'm interested in seeing the mythological creatures that they might show in here. How do they portray them, and how do they go on with it? Because again, I'm interested in story, and I believe in modern times this story has not kind of been propagated more or shown more. This is of course a Greek legend, a Greco-Roman storytelling archetype of a story. So we'll be interested in seeing that. So yeah, I'm absolutely interested in seeing this. I'll see it in the IMAX, of course, and I'll be enjoying it. So yeah, that's it. And sub to the channel. I'll see you in the next.